Why am I trying to teach you this? Because many of you don't understand that you can have the right skill, you can have the know-how, but that is not all that is needed for success. Because some of you, you've been to the university, you've learned all you need to learn, you see. But unfortunately, let me give you for example, there's a young man that finished his degree, finished his, his master's and all that. And the very month he finished his master's here in the UK, he began having headache. They rushed him to the hospital. They found out that a tumor has appeared in his brain. Where did that tumor come from? A tumor that wasn't there before. What is going on? It's a spirit of misfortune, witchcraft powers. You see, they allowed him to finish. Now the time for him to begin to reap the reward of his sweat, the night of prayer, study, researching, and now he's out with his master's degree to go get a good job and earn something from all those years of study. Now there's a tumor in his brain. And to make matters worse, he's lost his cognitive ability. Because after the operation, after they would take out, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. You see, because you have the car, because you have a shop, doesn't mean customers will come. Because you're a good preacher, doesn't mean your church will be filled up. Because, you see, you got to understand what I'm teaching you here. Get your copy of this because it's going to help you. You see, like I told you, after ministry in the UK for a while, I discovered some certain things going on. And I went into the realm of the spirit to make inquiry. And God told me that the spirit of occult, witchcraft, is the strong man of Britain. He told me Satan has shifted his headquarters to the UK. That the highest concentration of witchcraft activities and forces is now residing in the UK. And you see them infiltrating every churches. And if you're there, you're a man of God, you better ask God to open your eyes. Because if you don't have prayer covering over your ministry, I'm telling you, there are forces in this land that are anti the evangelical movement. Because what you represent will mitigate and undermine their agenda, their evil agenda for this land. They don't want Britain to come back to God. They don't want this city to return to her God. Their ambition is to make sure that this country is godless, that iniquity and evil is the order of the day. And if you see the resultant effect of their hidden agenda on the ground, you see that most of the young men, they are more or less crack addicts. If they are not on marijuana, they are on LSD. You look at most of the young women, you see them at how many years they can't get married, they can't stay in marriage. The entire Christian values is being eroded. You see churches are empty, no fear of God in the land. You see, you hire people, you can't get honest people. When you are not around, they are busy undermining your company. They're busy, robbing and stealing from you because there's no character. You see, they have the skill, they have the qualification, if you look at their CV, but they are messed up upstairs because they are product of a twisted generation, a twisted conditioning of Satan. The devil has a strong grip and he doesn't want to let go. And he knows that it is prayer and the preaching of the gospel that will destroy his plan against Britain. And he's targeting people on fire. He's targeting men of God on fire with a passion and a desire to see this country come back to her God, to see this country prosper and return to her glory days. And the devil does not want that. He wants to destroy this country. He wants to decimate this country. He does not even like the royal family because they represent order. They represent that which has always been good, that which has been the beauty of Great Britain. They represent that because you see, this is a family that represents, they represent the church. They are the strongholds of the Church of England. They have a tradition of the love of God. You see them, they attend church services. You see the Queen every time she's in church, they're upholding the value. You see, the devil wants to tear them down. You see, I don't like going into these things, but I'm just, Holy Spirit, help me here. Everything that represents the fear of God, the divine order of God, according to the Bible, the devil wants to destroy it in this country. And this is why I encourage every one of you. See, God has given me a mandate to reach 1 billion souls worldwide. And He's given me a certain amount of people to reach for in each nation. For Britain, the Lord gave me a mandate for 1 million souls and 100,000 disciples in the UK. And I'm trusting God that many of you out there hearing this message will come and join forces with me so that I can train you, equip you, and so that you can join my prayer force, my prayer strike force, to pray down the move of God. You see, the move of God is not revival. You see, many of you confuse the two. Revival means to bring back to life what is already dead. And the move of God is God having to do something new in the land. And these are the two assignments the Lord has mandated me with. And like you know, I cannot do it alone. And you see, like I've been preaching here for some time. Many of you have been getting blessed. I want you to call up and partner with this ministry. And I will send you a copy of this book, The Kingdom Billionaire's Manual for Creating Wealth, because it's going to change your life. You see, each copy of this book that you get, apart from the fact that it's a point of contact for God to anoint your life and change your business life, you see, you have this, every money that comes through this book is going for the funding of 1 billion souls. And it at the moment that God is giving me at the moment my Jerusalem, to be the UK at the moment. You see, it is going towards my effort to reach 1 million souls. I have the strategy, I have the unction, I have the will, I have the anointing. You see, but I want you to come and be a part of my team. I want you to call up if you have a heart to see the move of God in this country. And at the moment you're not yet yoked in any church. You want to see God display His splendor in this land. You want to see God show up and show off. Let me give you a secret. In fact, if you call it braggadocious, God help you. Listen to me now. Now listen, hear me. You see, the principalities and powers and the rulers of darkness that rule over the dark, evil, wicked activities in this land, they are bread for us. They are not a match for our God. You see, all we need to do is to activate the presence of the Holy God of Israel. And in the presence of the Holy God of Israel, mountains melt like wax. Are you listening to me? Problems, they vanish. All those drug addictions, crackheads will have around. Young men with twisted minds. Anti-church, anti-men of God, anti-pastors, renegades running here and there. Demonic forces, witchcraft covens mitigating against our mandates in this land. Hear me, man of God. Hear me, comrade. They are nothing but bread. Hear me, as you follow this series, I'm going to give you divine keys. You see, the moment we activate His presence, by reason of His presence, the yokes are broken. In the House of Parliament, number 10 Downing Street, Buckingham Palace, in the House of Lords, all we need to do is to send His presence. And the moment He shows up in these places, He will turn the place upside down. Are you listening to me? As we activate His presence in the four corners of Britain, the rest is easy. It's very simple. The moment the presence of the God of Israel shows up, no devil can stand. No demon can show up. They will all go on holiday. There are certain times I enter a place and the presence of God takes over everywhere. I'm not even preaching. People are running to the toilet, vomiting. Demons are coming out of people. People are getting healed. I talk to people on the phone. The demons are coming out of them. You see, some of you that you talk to me on the phone and you feel like choking, you begin to... You see, demons are air. Spirits are air. You see, spirits are air. Read the book of Hebrew. They are air. You see, in the Greek, it's called pneuma. You see, in the Hebrew, it's ruach. You see, spirits. You see, demons are spirits. So when they're coming out of you, sometimes they come out through your key, your excretion. You feel like going to the toilet, and because of they want to come out, they push something out. And when they're coming out of you, and you have food in your stomach, you start vomiting because the power of God is ejecting them. You see, I just want you to understand what happens to you when you talk to me on the phone, or when you come into my services, or while you watch me on YouTube and Facebook. You see, some of you need to follow this series on YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in Apostle Nnanna Timanih, and you follow the series. You go to Facebook, just go to facebook.com and type in Nnanna Timanih. You just follow this. You know, these things, some of them are uploaded. I have some special DVD. They will just bless you. Now listen, hear me. Hear me. Hear me. Those of you men of God out there who are like Caleb and Joshua, who out of the 12 spies, you have the Spirit of God in you to know that the giants are bred. I don't care how many devils that are against the work of God, the mandate of the gospel in this land. They are bred. All you got to do is to do what we know how to do, and darkness will flee before our presence, and the forces of evil will bow. They will run like cowards with their tails between their legs. We are no match. We are more than conquerors. We are too big to be harassed by demons. Anyway, now listen to me. Sorry about that, detour, but I just allow God to just do his thing. Now listen. You see, I'm preaching on page 14 of my book, The Kingdom Billionaire's Manner. If you're just tuning in, The Kingdom Billionaire's Manner for Creating Wealth. You see, don't change that dial, you see, because you're not watching this channel by accident. And I encourage many of you, because some of you, you like me to go 1 hour because there's so much to cover. You can call up and partner and say, man of God, you can call this channel and say, man of God, I want to pay for 6 months upfront. I want to pay for 1 year upfront. I want you to be preaching 4 times a day in this channel, because you have so much to give us. You have so much to impart us. You can do that. What is that to you? You see, you see, let me tell you. You see, Tony Scott, the Hollywood director, you see, he had money, he had fame. He was a movie producer, but he didn't have Jesus. And what happened? When the demon of suicide attacked him, he wrote a suicide letter and went to the bridge and jumped. He had the house, he had the cars, he had the fame. He had everything many of you, some people will kill for. You see, when you don't have Jesus, you are lost. You're not safe in this life. The Bible talks about in Psalm 91, there are arrows that fly by day. There are pestilence, wicked demons that operate by night. They program you in the dream. They feed you. Witchcraft powers, evil powers. You see, listen to me, let me tell you. You see, because I'm about to wrap up now, and I'm trusting God that you have to follow this session the same time next week. I'm trusting that from next week, I'm trusting God, I'll be able to have more time and, give you have some more session to bless you. Now, hear me. You see, Stephen Fry, an actor, a TV host, almost committed suicide in his hotel, suffering from depression. And I'm trusting God to heal him. I want you to understand. You see, there are forces that your money cannot buy. There are evil powers that when they invade your mind, you can't resist them, except you know Jesus. I would like you to give your life to Christ. I would like you to be born again. If you would like to give your life to Jesus, I want you to call that number. We're going to pray for you. The number on your screen, call that number. I'm going to pray for you, and God is going to touch you in a mighty way. I'm about to leave this set. You see, I'm sure many of you who know me, you've been waiting for this book.
In this book, you will discover secrets on how to get miraculous increase of your salary and the job of your choice by the prayers of faith. You will learn proven supernatural secrets on how to unlock immediate financial miracle provision for paying your bills and for meeting your immediate needs. You will discover never-before-revealed divine secrets on how to start a business and mega business deals through spiritual warfare prayers. Apostle Timanih will teach you how to destroy every demonic witchcraft attack and hindrances to your progress in businesses and in your career. You will learn how to develop strategic marketing mix for your ministry, church, or products and services.
For a minimum seed of £199, you're going to get your copy of this book. And I believe your life will never be the same ever again.